edition of Northern Heat, and our special guest today is Steen Gudmundsson. Steen, you're the CEO of BBI, which is located in Bouctouch, New Brunswick. So we've known each other for a while now.
Yes, and possibly, unfortunately for you, that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So the right now, BBI is Bouctouch Bay Industries is the name of the company, so I can get out of the acronym. You are one of our suppliers. So our Snap to It clips that we use, that is a patented product out of Europe, and we have the rights to get it manufactured here. You're the company that actually manufactures them for us.
Yes.
The company Grad from France is the patent holder, and but there's a little bit of a story there on innovation and teamwork and how we did that, and I'll leave it up to you to tell the story, a very quick one, and then we'll get to the main point of this whole interview.
Yeah, so 5-6 years ago now,
at least.
Basically, you and I met up, and you started talking about that you needed a plastic component. At that point in time, I was working somewhere else, and but also had knowledge and was doing some work with BBI at the time. And you needed an injection molded component. They had the capacity to produce it, but we needed to do a little bit of design work and kind of evolve the idea for manufacture. So between yourself, you guys that are the original of the patents, because there were a few subtle differences with what you wanted to achieve, and our mold making capabilities and BBI, we evolved and produced a 4-cavity tool that produces your product, and that's been running for 5 years now, and not thermally modified wood, basically working ever since.
Yeah, and you know, the big thing about it was all the teamwork, right? You know, it was somebody from New Brunswick that did the design that you knew. It fit the BBI equipment. We got it built. You know, incredible that we were able to do that within our province. So again, very innovative on that side of the equation. And the one thing I'd like to mention is that this is again talking about innovation. Is that when I started asking around with different people inside the province, companies and government or whatever, and when I asked where I could get injection molding done in the Maritimes, nobody really knew. And it was somebody from NRC that mentioned oyster grow, and I went, oyster grow? Like, and it didn't match, right? But the company, that's where you were originally and still are. You still manufacture components for the oyster.
Well, the oyster grow system is our own invention. Basically, that's an aquaculture system for growing oysters that we sell across the Maritimes, all through the US, and now we're shipping all over the world. So it's the best and fastest way to grow an oyster. So I need say no more than that.
Yeah, so here we go from fishing to industrial components that are made that we can put into our product, to let's move it ahead to today, where our businesses have been turned upside down with COVID-19. And you guys have an unbelievable story to tell, again, of innovation, of flipping over your manufacturing capability to come to the need of our frontline people. And just why don't you just take some time and explain that?
I mean, first off, when COVID-19 first showed up, I don't think too many people were taking it as seriously as we should. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I think that'll be a fact that's found out afterwards. But one of the things that a lot of businesses were worried about was, you know, a downturn, us included. How is it going to affect you? But there's the other side to it is, you know, how do we look after our health workers and so on and so forth? So what happened was there was a call to action from the federal government looking for companies that with a capability, whether they could step up to the plate and do something to help make a difference, develop a product, whatever. So this story is really a triangular story. So Dalhousie University, we've been working with Dalhousie consistently over the last few years on all different products, and we've got ourselves to the point where if it's a plastic product, we're kind of their go-to partner, and we help. They design a product, but we'll do the design for manufacture. So just making sure it can be built and it can be made efficiently and cost efficiently. So they reached out to us and asked us if we were willing to step up to the plate. Without hesitation, absolutely, and started looking at basically the frame component as being, we can injection mold that and do that quickly. The third corner of our triangle, so to speak, is tower machining, which is also known as Howell Ventures, who do wheelchair accessible vehicle conversions. And again, they, like you, they're one of our customers for injection molding. And
they're out of Fredericton, right?
Yeah, they're in Fredericton, just on the other side, just out Keswick Ridge there.
Yeah.
And they have plastic parts, but they've been slowly over the last few years gaining the expertise to make their own mold tools to the point where they're actually a tooling resource for us. So, we now have a complete circle of design and manufacture within New Brunswick, which I think is fantastic news. So anyway, back to the story. We approached them and said, can you help us? They were also suffering a downturn. They went from about 32 people down to 12. They said, absolutely. A tool normally to produce something like this would be 6 to 8 weeks. We got the design done, and from first cut to when the tool arrived here was 5 days.
Incredible.
So they went 24/7 and drove it. And we didn't just make a tool that makes one component at a time. We made a tool that makes 2 components at a time because we knew there was going to be a volume requirement. So that was basically the situation. So where it's brought us to now is we now have the tool, it's running, we are producing the products, which is good. We're not only doing the injection molding side of things, so we're taking a granular raw material and processing it through our Arbad machines and turn it into the frames. We've also got hundreds of thousands of square feet of the shield material, which we're cutting and punching. There's instruction guides that have to be certified by Health Canada and things like that. That's all been done. A nitrile band, because you can't use an elastic band because it creates, some people are allergic to it, so we have to make sure that we have a neutral product. And essentially we've got to the point where basically designed, built, packaged and shipped in Canada a product to help protect our Canadian health workers. But this product's really not just for the health workers, it's for the guys in the ambulances, it's for the people who really need protection in the old folks' homes, all the way down to retail workers and the industries we serve. There's so many in the fish plants and things like that, where social distancing, if you're going to accommodate that in your plant, you're now in a situation where you've got to do massive multi-million-dollar investments. So they need to have ways that they can carry on working.
Yeah.
Because the wheels need to keep turning in industry. We can't just stop because yes, there's a health crisis, but there's a massive economic burden to carry as well.
Absolutely. Physical distancing, I don't think it's going away, Steve.
No.
So we're going to have to find ways, as you said, to be able to operate that way. So how many of these can you make? What's your production rate?
So we've got tool 1 on board, tool number 2. So we bought and paid for out of pocket for both tools. The second tool is coming in tomorrow. So as of next week, our total production per week will be 50,000 units.
Amazing. And so from time that the letter came out from the government to being able to produce, what was that lead time?
Well, we're currently at 3.5 weeks. That's basically from the light bulb moment to actually where we are right now.
Incredible of being able to put the team together and come up with the thought process and being able to put it out. Now, one of the things, and I know this is something that you probably get asked, but it's not something that you'd normally get asked, but I think that you've got a cost structure to this too that makes it affordable, right?
Yeah. So a lot of times when you're doing a product like this, there's a cloak of secrecy around the component or the product if you're selling it en masse. We decided to go at things a little bit differently. Essentially, what we wanted to do is have an honest and fair price across the board that really is ultra competitive. So we're not putting too much of a burden on the people who need to buy it. So the price for the product is $3.29. And really that doesn't matter whether you're buying 100,000 or you're buying a box of 50. So we wanted to make it accessible. Again, we don't want to be taking advantage of the system, of the situation. I think everyone has to do their bit at the moment. And to reduce the burden and have something that's really cost effective, but also made in our own backyard. I think that's a good thing. It's something that we hope to be able to carry on and move forward with.
Yeah. Well, listen, my hat's off to you and your team and everybody putting this together and the group of people that have come together to do this, because this war against COVID is one that we've never seen before, and everybody's got to step up to the plate. The fact that you have a cost structure that makes this affordable for people to use and not taking advantage of it. Some companies might have done that, and you have not. And again, thank you very much for that. On behalf of myself, on behalf of the team here at Thermalwood Canada, on the behalf of all of New Brunswick, if I can say that, and all of Canada, we want to thank you for helping the frontline people, to keeping them safe all the way through this. And so for everybody that's also listening to this video and to this interview that we're doing, here's an opportunity to get the word out. Get the word out that BBI have done stuff, and at the same time, it's showing your appreciation and thanking them for the work that they've done, and also giving an opportunity to let other people across Canada or across North America know that we are producing components here in New Brunswick that created in the Maritimes to be able to save people and make it a lot safer for them. So again, thank you very much, Steen and your team, for doing that. Really much appreciated.
We've had a lot of plaudits, and we're very humbled by it. But the last point I want to make is we're part of the community, and I feel that we're obligated to step up. It's great that people are really recognizing what we're doing. We really do appreciate that. But really, the thanks and the praise needs to go to the people who are actually on the front lines, 16 hours a day, working to keep us safe and keep New Brunswickers and Canadians healthy. They're the ones who deserve all the credit.
Yeah, we call this program Northern Heat, and here's a good example of how the heat's been turned on in the Maritimes again. Yeah. And so everybody out there, create a safe space for yourself and keep yourself safe, including you, Steen, and your family and your team.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.